Hello. So, I thought I'd do a little story time. Um, I talked about it yesterday. Is it yesterday? Who cares? Um, I went on a date and I got left behind. And the what she was thinking, I don't know. She claims it was an accident or she whatever. Anyway, so um, I was on Tinder. I think it was a Tinder. No, sorry. Um, I was on Facebook one day and I was at work. I got added by some chick and I was like, screw it, she's cute. So added her and then sent her a message saying, look, do I know you? You know? And she messaged me back later and was like, sorry, I thought I knew you. And I was like, well, you know, always up for new friends and whatever. So, long story short, I talked to her for a good while and sorry, I'm charging my phone and it's not staying very up. So there was one day where I had a Friday night off and it was a Friday, um, and I'd done some drinking and decided to lay down and take a nap. I worked third shift, so my hours are a little weird. And I wake up about 10 o'clock and I've been called twice by this girl. So I figure, what the hell? Call her back, see what happens. And I call her back, and this girl with a, mind you, I've never talked to her before on the phone or met her. So this girl with a British accent, it was played, and I knew that. So I played along, and she was, pretty much was telling me to get down here and hang out with them. So I said, all right, fine. So um, so I get down there and meet them at the B-Dubs down there and have a beer, um, hang out with them, talk to the one of the guys, and apparently there's some drama between the guy and the girl, and I talked to them both individually because one went to the bathroom and then I talked to the dude, and then one he came back and the girls went to the bathroom, and there was the girl that I'm talking about and the girl, her friend, and then I talked to her and she was telling me more about the situation, and um, so and I was like, okay, this is awkward. Um, so I finished my beer. We left. We went to go to the Bob, which is a club slash concert hall, I guess. I've only been there once, and so apparently he didn't want to go, so he left. And he went back home, and the other girl cried and sat there, and I comforted her. And mind you, this whole time, pretty much like, where this is where the girl starts like really complimenting me, like to almost an excessive amount. Not in a bad way. It was great. Like I was like, wow, this girl's actually like complimenting me, and I was like, this is cool. Um, so I we get her to calm down. She reapplies her makeup when we leave. All right, so we get down to the club, and they didn't even wait for me. They just gone, and I went, all right, well, they're gonna go do their own thing. I'm gonna go grab a drink. So I grabbed me a spiced rum and coke, and didn't know how long this night was gonna be. So I said, might as well start drinking now. So start drinking, and then looking for him on the dance floor. Couldn't find him, and so I found, or she ended up texting me, and I ended up finding her. And then they want to go grab a drink, and then they start talking to some other dudes, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the bartender to get my attention so I can grab my other drink. And they leave with the dudes, and at this point, me seeing them leave with the dudes, I was like, like, all right, why am I here? I was like, it doesn't even feel like I need to be here for this. It just feels like I'm either invisible or I'm just there as protection for them, which don't know why he'd want me for that. But so night concludes. Well, the dance club. We leave the dance club, and after the guys had offered them Molly, and they were like, "We need to get the fuck out of here. We don't want to take part in any of that shit." So we get down there, or we leave, and some other guys apparently try to hit them up for fucking, are trying to get them to pay. They wanted them to give them blowjobs, and they're gonna give them money for him. So then the girls just kind of flipped them off and was like, "Fuck you guys, whatever," you know. And I just kind of looked at him and shook my head, and I was like, "You guys are fucking retards." And so, get to their car. They're drunk, as far as I'm concerned. That's what they told me. And they wanted me to drive their car. Now, I'm all fine with that, but I don't have a license, and I've never driven in the snow. I know how to drive, but I just never have driven in the snow before. So I don't know how it works. So they eventually convinced me, all right, fine. So I drive them to the house, and they were terrible at directions, for one, where they were trying to get me to go take them. They wanted me to take them to that one dude's house that I mentioned previously, and they last minute, like, turn here, you know. So we finally get down to the place. Didn't die, thankfully, obviously. And so we hang out there for a little bit, and the dude's pretty cool. He works in the same kind of company I work in a metal manufacturing, and oh, how if I turn it on? So you know, things go pretty well. We talk, we listen to music, hang out, tell jokes, whatever. So I thought the night was going pretty well. So the chick and the dude go upstairs. I'm obviously know what's going on. You know, I'm like, either they're talking privately or they're scrumping, either way. And I was like, it was none of my business, so I don't care. So I get down to the it gets down to the point where they're ready to go, and the girls put on their shoes, go outside, and then I'm like putting on my shoes and telling the dude, you know, good to meet you, blah blah blah, that shit. And as soon as I step outside, they drive away. So now I'm stuck at this dude's house. Never, I don't know him, you know, and I kind of turn around and look at him, and I'm like, sorry. And he was like, dude, believe me, this isn't the first time. And I was like, the first time? You mean they do this on a regular basis? What the fuck? So, and we come inside, and he's like, you know, just come inside, chill out for a bit, we'll figure something out for you. And mind you, it's the end of the pay period. I'm at like my ends ropes for money. So I got like $100 in my pocket. Luckily, I got a lot of money on me right now at the moment. So, but I didn't have any money in my account because I had withdrew it all. And so the dude's like, well, you know, I was like, well, dude, here's how we can either order an Uber, or you can help me order an Uber for me because I don't got I only got cash, or you know, either I can crash here or whatever, or you can take me home yourself or whatever. I was like, but you know, whatever needs to be done. He goes, well, I can call you an Uber. I was like, all right, cool, that would be great. So order the Uber. I sit down, I talk to him, talk about work. You know, he's a welder, I'm a metal finisher, so we go hand in hand, and we understand each other's work, and you know, things go great. And you know, then I leave, I go home. You know, it's not really anything really weird happened. I mean, well, besides getting ditched. But the weirdest part of that situation is I talked to her later on about it. She was like, oh, I thought you had a ride. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, that's fine. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, you know. and I continued to talk to her. And I decided to try to add her on Snapchat. So apparently I had added her daughter's Snapchat, and I didn't know it. Because all it did was have her name on it, so I figured it was hers. So she texts me and she goes, "Why are you adding my daughter's one?" And I said, "Well, it had your name on it, so I thought it was yours." Didn't get a text from her after that, and she took me off Facebook and all this kind of stuff, and I was like kind of sitting there going, "What the fuck?" And then there was one day, like a couple of weeks ago, where she texted me asking me how I was doing, and I was like, "Fine, how are you?" Didn't get a response. So I'm thinking either she was drunk and she was texting me, or she didn't mean to text me, or what. I don't know what the purpose in her texting me was, but I don't know. The whole situation was kind of disappointing due to the fact that she was pretty, she was nice, you know, she was a single mom, and it didn't bother me. Like I love kids and I want my own kids, and you know, taking care of somebody else's kids isn't a burden to me. Um, like she's a really nice girl, and so it was like the whole situation was kind of disappointing to me because I was like, this actually seems maybe promising. So, and nothing good came out of it, and it was kind of like just really disappointing. You know, I didn't get like upset about it. I was just kind of like, fuck it, whatever, it's life, you know. But um, yeah, that's pretty much that story, and it was rather disappointing. So, but yeah, I'll try to do a little bit more kind of stories that I got, but not much happens that I'd find interesting, you know. I mean, you guys might find it interesting, but who knows. But anyway, that was my little nitpick for the day. So, I don't know if I don't know if I'll post anything tomorrow or whatnot. I know I don't have to work until 11, but I might spend most of the day sleeping to prep for work. So, um, yeah. Uh, Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. And have a nice day. See you later.